guys, so today I'm going to be doing a large book haul. I actually just got home from a trip to Barnes & Noble, and when I got home I saw that this had actually come in the mail, so I thought what a great time to film a book haul, unboxing my book outlet box, and then I can show you guys also what I got from Barnes & Noble. So I think I'm going to start off with Barnes & Noble and then we'll unbox this guy. So I'm just going to go ahead and get into it because there's a lot of books to show. First book I got at Barnes & Noble here is P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han, which is the follow-up book to All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han, and it's kind of like a duology contemporary series, and I've read To All the Boys I've Loved Before. I think I read it last year and I absolutely loved it, so I definitely wanted to pick up the second one. If you haven't heard of this series, so to speak, it basically follows this girl named Lara Jean, and she writes all these letters to boys that she thinks she's in love with, addresses them, and then never sends them out to kind of help her get over them. But then one day all of the letters get sent out and all these boys find out that she's been in love with them and chaos happens. So there's a second book and I think it's the final book. I don't think it's like a trilogy type deal. I think it's a duology. I really am excited to read this one. It came out a little bit ago, but I just haven't been able to get my hands on it. So I'm very excited to read this book and I'll definitely be reviewing it. Next book I got at Barnes & Noble is Nowhere But Here by Katie McGarry, and I believe this is a part of Katie McGarry's new contemporary type series, companion novel series. I'm really into the companion novel series. I don't really know why, but I believe this follows a young girl who wants to find her biological dad, and she finds out he's part of this like motorcycle pack, so she goes to find him, and then I think she might fall in love with like one of the younger boys in the motorcycle pack and something like that. But it sounds like a really fun summer read, something I think I'd be interested in. It sounds kind of like a typical good girl bad boy story, so I think I'm gonna like this one. I have read Katie McGarry's Pushing the Limits, which is a part of the Pushing the Limits trilogy or something like that. There might be 4 books actually. I'm really not sure. I only read the first one and I wasn't a huge fan. I know so many people absolutely love those books, but I just wasn't a big fan. But I decided to give this one a shot because it wasn't Katie McGarry's writing style that I didn't like. It was kind of the story. So I'm excited to try this one out and I'll definitely let you guys know if I like it. Next book that I got at the store actually is Grey by E.L. James, and this is the 50 Shades of Grey told from Christian's perspective, and obviously I have read the whole 50 Shades of Grey trilogy and I thought it was entertaining enough that I did want to go ahead and pick this one up. It just came out this month, I think, and it's just 50 Shades of Grey told from Christian's perspective, which I'm interested to read from just because, you know, he's so messed up. It must be interesting to be inside his head, so I just got this because I wanted it, you know. I don't think you'll be able to expect a full review of this book from me, but I'll definitely include it in my wrap-up video when I finish it. And the last book that I got at Barnes & Noble is The Fill-In Boyfriend from Cassie West. I found this book through the Epic Reads website and it sounded like a really interesting contemporary romance book that's basically about this girl, and her name's Gia, and she has this boyfriend and her boyfriend dumps her right before she's about to go to this like special event with him. So she finds this other guy to be her fill-in boyfriend and he acts like he's her boyfriend, and then I think he uses her as his fill-in girlfriend, and then maybe real feelings start to happen or something like that. But I've heard really great things about this book. I heard it's like a fun, light, contemporary read, so I wanted to pick it up and I'll definitely let you guys know if I like it, but I think it sounds like a really fun read, so I'm excited to start this one too. So those are all of the books that I got at Barnes & Noble, so I'm going to get started with my book outlet box. I had not put a book outlet order in for a while, so I decided that it would be fun to, you know, do one because book outlet, it's so cheap. I think I got all of these books for $2.99. Like, that's ridiculously cheap, so I'm excited to see them. Okay. Why do they put so much stuff in, like, every single time without fail? It's so annoying. Okay, let's see what we got. First book we have in here is Trouble by Non Pratt, and I heard about this book from Reagan at Peruse Project, and I believe it follows a young girl, like a teenage girl, who gets pregnant and the father really isn't in the picture, so one of her guy best friends kind of helps her with her pregnancy. I think the weird twist about this book is that it stays a platonic friendship and there's no really romance aspect to it, which I think sounds really interesting, and I feel like every book there's like a little bit of romance here and there. So to read a book about a platonic friendship dealing with a teenage pregnancy, that sounds really interesting, and teenage pregnancy books are something that I actually really enjoy reading about, which sounds really weird and kind of bad, but I do enjoy teenage pregnancy books. I think they're really interesting to read about. I don't know, it's just really crazy to me to read a book that's like somebody that's my age having a baby. Like, I feel like that's insane, and there's a couple good ones out there, some aren't as good, and I've had this book recommended to me before when I've mentioned that I like pregnancy books, teenage pregnancy books, so definitely excited to read this one, and it's a hardcover, and I got it for $2.99, and it's in perfect condition, so I'm very excited to read this one. Next book I got here is Every Day by David Leviathan, and I have not really read any of David Leviathan's books that are just like on his own. I've only read his book with John Green, Will Grayson, and I was interested to read this one because I heard there's a sequel coming out, and I've heard really great things about this book. I believe it follows this boy who every single day he becomes someone different or something, and like he's not himself. Like every day he wakes up a different person or something like that, and then there's something that happens that makes him want to stay as one of the people that he becomes or something like that. Like I could be kind of off, but I believe that's kind of the basic premise of this book, but that sounds pretty interesting to me and I'm excited to read it. I've heard really great things about it here on BookTube, and like $2.99, let's be real, so I'm excited to read this one. Next book I got in here is called Boy Crazy by Haley Abbott, and I believe this follows a young girl and her two best friends who all make a pact for the summer to kiss 10 boys, to just kind of be carefree, not stick to a boyfriend, and just kiss 10 boys, see who can do it first, have a good time with it. But then Casey, our main character, ends up kissing her first boy and kind of starts falling for him. Not to mention that boy number one that she just kissed is one of her friend's exes. Yikes. So I think that sounds like a pretty interesting premise. It reminds me of that episode of Drake and Josh where Josh is like, I have just as much game as you, Drake, so they try to kiss so many girls in one day, and Josh kisses like 85 girls and then Drake falls for the first girl that he kisses. Kind of reminds me of that, so I'm excited to read it. It seems like a really thin book, so I'll definitely get through this in like one sitting, but I'm very excited to read it. I think it sounds interesting. The next book I got here is called Snapshot by Angie Stanton, and I believe it says a Jameson Brothers novel, so maybe it's like a series, but it basically follows this young girl who wants to go to art camp and this boy who's like a rock star, and he wants to go to art camp and he just wants to have like a normal summer for once, and I guess they meet at this summer camp, but then he's keeping things from her, and it's just kind of like a love story, summer contemporary, fluffy read, and I thought it sounded fun, so I just decided to give it a whirl. Again, like my explanation for all these books is $2.99. $2.99. Like I couldn't even not put this in my cart, so I definitely will let you guys know if I like this one. I think it sounds like a cute contemporary, so I'm excited about it. I'm pretty sure I've said I'm excited about it for every single book, but you guys know me, you know that's what I do. Oh my god, this book is so thick. I was not expecting it. It's kind of gross looking, like it kind of has a little scruffing here and there, but it's fine. And this is called My First Love and Other Disasters by Francine Pascal. Looks like this, but look how thick this is. Like dang, is this one book or is it like a bunch of books together? Oh, okay, so I think this is actually 3 books binded up into one, which is a relief because look how freaking thick this is. But I basically think that it just follows this girl and there's 2 guys that she likes, and it's kind of just like a love triangle, which sounds kind of interesting. So it says this collection of sizzling summer romance includes a bonus book in My Mother Was Never a Kid. You'll get to meet Victoria when she just turned 13 and is having crazy mother-daughter issues and forms a friendship that transcends time. It seems like it's just going to be like a fun summery read, which I'm definitely into right now, so I'm excited to pick it up and see if I might like it, so that's cool. The next book is something very different from what you probably are used to from my channel, and it is called When Hitler Stole Pink Rabbit by Judith Kerr. I believe this book just follows this really young girl, and the book is in her perspective and her family who get captured and taken to a concentration camp during World War II Nazi Germany type time period, and it's just basically about her living in this concentration camp. I actually have quite a soft spot for World War II historical fiction Nazi type books, and you probably wouldn't think that from me, but I've actually read quite a few and I really do enjoy them, and ones from little kids' perspectives always get to me, and I saw this on there and I just had to add it to my cart. It seemed like something I think I would really enjoy and something different from what, you know, I usually read. Like it seems like I only like contemporary, but I truly do like books that are set in the World War II time period, weirdly enough. I know that might sound crazy, but I know a lot of people do, and I was really excited to see this on Book Outlet, like something I've never read before. So I'm excited to read it and see if I like it, so I'll let you guys know about this one, obviously. And the last book here in my box is 15th Summer by Michelle Dalton, and I actually just recently picked up like 16th Summer. There's like a bunch of them. They're like 15th Summer, 16th Summer, 17th Summer. I believe I picked up one of the other ones, and this one sounded quite interesting to me. I believe this book follows a young girl named Chelsea who goes back to her lake house for the summer, but it's kind of sad there because her grandmother recently passed away, and I guess that was like her lake house. But she meets this boy named Josh at a bookstore, and they kind of start hanging out, and it's like a summer romance type book, and I thought that sounded like such a fun, cute book. I mean, meeting boys in bookstores is what every BookTube girl dreams of, right? But I thought it definitely sounded fun, and I thought it would be nice to have more than one of the like 15th, 16th, 17th summer type books, so maybe I will collect them all, we never know. So I'm definitely going to be reading this one this summer, hopefully, and letting you guys know about it, so I'm very excited about this one as well. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this book haul. Hope you found maybe a new book to check out, or if you've read any of these books, definitely let me know in the comments below what you thought about them. I'd love to hear all of your thoughts. Make sure you like this video and subscribe if you have not already, and of course follow me on Twitter at LovelyLikeLaura. We have some good times over there, and I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful day, and I'll talk to you all very soon. Goodbye!